Did you have any fighter escort at all, or
No,
just you?
no. As a matter of fact, that route that we flew is now referred to as Aluminum Road because there were so many planes that crashed. Yeah, you didn't need a compass. If you could see the ground, you just follow the aluminum. But most of the flights across there were in violent weather. Most of the time you were on instruments. The downdrafts were pretty bad. You could be tossed around like a rag doll up there, you know, and a lot of planes were lost that way. But it was important because we were flying the supplies in that make it possible for the B-29 crews that were stationed up at Chengdu to fly to Japan and fly those initial B-29 missions. And the first missions were to places like the Yawata, to the steel mills at Yawata and Anshan and places like that, which was taking the war back to the Japanese in big time. I mean, that's the first time that we really started hitting the empire with bombs that really was going to do damage. And of course the Japanese were very aware of Chengdu's existence, and they were also trying to make it difficult. They bombed the place, believe it or not. It was supposed to be too far to the west, but they got in there and they were bombing that field up there also. Anyway, I was tucked in good one night, and I always slept with my .45 pistol under my pillow and a flashlight. Always had a pistol and a flashlight under the pillow. Well, one night I came in and I turned in, and about, I don't know, half an hour later, something like that, I heard this growling. And it woke me up. And the gunner and myself, our cots were next to each other. We had 2 footlockers between those 2 cots. Well, I looked up there, I took the flashlight and looked up there, and there's a black leopard sitting on one of the footlockers. So I thought, well, if I shoot, it may go through him and hit my gunner. If I miss, it'll certainly hit him. And so I thought, well, what in the world am I going to do? Well, it turned out there was a leopard on the footlocker, and there was another leopard down the other way. I assumed they were male and female. There were no windows. They were openings, but no windows, or no doors. They were just openings. So apparently they'd come into that basher. And about that time, one of the guys from another crew comes in, and he was juiced up. He was about half potted, and he had taken his shoes off and had them around his neck, you know, with the shoelaces tied. And he walks into that basher, and he's about 25 feet from where that leopard was, and that leopard let out a big growl. He says, "Ah, shut up!" And he took his shoes off and threw them over there, and those 2 cats went out both ends of that basher. And I'm sitting there with my mouth hanging open, you know.